What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode, man. And we back, man. Episode 19. Let's keep this rolling. We got a lot of things to talk about, man. We still talking about basketball right now in the basketball round. I'm gonna try to transition into football and in September whenever NFL starts up and all that. But right now we're still talking about basketball, man. And we're going to be talking about these old heads commenting on Ant-Man's comments. We're going to be talking about what Bronny's going to be calling Bron whenever they play together, what Bron wants him to call him. We're going to be talking about top 10 2K ratings on 2K25. We also got, what else we got? Oh, yeah. I'm going to let y'all know my top 5 of all time. You know, everybody got a different top 5, but this is my top 5. I feel like my top 5 just make more sense, you feel what I'm saying? But, yeah, let's get straight to it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, man, is these 2K ratings, man. I'm not going to go through all the 2K ratings, but I want to talk about at least, the top 10. So, we got Jokic at 1. Who's at 2? We got Luka at 2, Giannis at 3, Shea at 4, and Joel Embiid at 5. And then when I looked at that top 5, man, I was like, man, they all not from the United States. I was like, dang, bro, they might be taking over, bro. They might be taking over, but anyways, that's besides the point. How I feel, I like that. I like how Jokic is first. You know, he been MVP 3 times in a row. You know, but Joel Embiid not being a 97, I don't know. It's probably because of injuries. Probably that's why. But, man, if it wasn't for these injuries, man, Joel Embiid would be a problem, man. He probably would have been at the championship. But, yeah, that top 5, I'm cool with that top 5. Then the next 5, you got Bron, Steph, KD, AD. Who else in there? Who else is in there? Bron, Steph. I know Bron's in 95, Steph's in 95. Oh yeah, JT. You got Bron, Steph, JT, KD, and AD. Bron is in 95, Steph's in 95, and JT's in 95. Kevin Durant is in 94, and Anthony Davis is in 94. And how I feel about that one, I don't know, man. I feel like KD should be in 95, man. There's nothing wrong with JT being in 95. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, he just won the championship. But I don't know, just leaving KD at 94 and then Bron and Steph at 90, that don't even make sense to me. KD should be in 95. And I don't know how I feel about AD being in the top 10, 94, and then you got Ant-Man in the top 20, 11 through 20. You got Ant-Man being 11 in the 93, in the season he had. I feel like he should be at least a 94. Then you got Jaylen Brown winning Finals MVP. Jaylen Brown winning his Finals MVP, and he's a 92. That's kind of disrespectful. Jaylen Brown, I feel like Jaylen Brown should be at least a 93, 94. Because he won Finals MVP, he had a good year. They just been holding him the whole freaking year. They give him Finals MVP, but they don't invite him to play for the Olympics. Then all that Nike stuff he had going on, bro, that don't even make sense to me. But how I feel about that top 5, I like it. I just feel like Kevin Durant should be at least a 95. You know, I feel like Ant-Man should be in there instead of AD. But I don't know, AD's defense probably is outweighing Ant-Man's, because AD was averaging 2 blocks and 1 steal, so that explains it. But Now I want to talk about what Bron wants Bronny to call him whenever they play on the court together. Like, it's probably not gonna be like right away because Bronny is still developing and stuff like that. But eventually they're gonna play on the court together. It's bound to happen. So he was talking on this talk show or whatever it's called. Whatever he was talking on, they was asking him, what do you want Bronny to call you? Like, does he call you dad still? And he was like, nah, I don't want him to call me dad, nothing like that. But I feel like I don't know why this is a thing. Like, I feel like you should just call him whatever you want to call him. Like, Bron, 2-3, Bron, King James. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with Pops. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that at the workplace. Cause like, like, come on now. Like, it's gonna naturally come out. Like, he gonna be playing, hooping. But dad, like, it's gonna be natural. He's gonna be natural. He probably gonna have to adjust and develop himself just to be able to call him something different. Cause he been calling you that his whole life. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Nah, I know this is not a major take because a lot of people like that watch basketball know this, but like some people want it. Like, just want to talk about like the differences between the WNBA and the NBA because I was currently watching last night. I was currently watching the Indiana Fever playing against, but yeah, it was the Indiana Fever and then the Chicago Skies was playing against. Dang, I gotta look this up, man. I'm tripping. I don't know why I'm tripping. Okay, the Indiana Fever was playing against. Yeah, they're playing against Connecticut, and Chicago Sky was playing against the Mystics. And then like Tuesday, I was watching Aja Wilson play. Still there. They lost to Dallas, but yeah, I was watching them games and I was seeing how these girls is playing. I was seeing how like, they're not athletic or like that. They really use their skill. And like the differences between the two is that like if you really a fan of basketball, you should be able to watch both. But like the females side, I feel like it should be way more like you trying to learn type watching. Now, if you just a fan and you want to see all that dunks and stuff and all that, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and watch men play. But if you like love watching the game, you don't care who it is, you don't care if it's female, you don't care if it's male, you don't care if it's nothing. It's basketball. Like, you gonna watch anything, and watching females will like help you know and help you develop to have more skill. I'm not saying NBA has no skill. It just that's what they have to develop to be great players and fundamentals and all that. So like that's the difference between them two. And from what I was seeing, like a lot of these WNBA players know how to freaking shoot. Like they literally perfect their shot because like they not finna just be dominating in the paint. Like they gonna post up and stuff like that, fadeaways. But it's a lot of like all around players on the court. It don't matter if it's centers, power forwards. You know what I'm saying? They all know how to shoot. They know how to catch and shoot. They all got good forms, and a lot of people in the NBA don't really got good forms. Like that's really the difference I seen, and I just like loving watching the game because all the games I watched it ended up being close games. Like it was no blowouts. Like I hate seeing blowouts, and all those games I watched was close games, and I love that. So that's what I really want to talk about on that part. But let's move on. Now I want to talk about these old players being so sensitive about what Ant-Man said about how nobody in like the 90s, because I want to be specific, he said nobody back in Michael Jordan's time had skill except for Michael Jordan. He said Michael Jordan is the only one he feel like had skill. He said, yeah, he didn't watch it like that. But I'm pretty sure he had parents that watched it and showed him. You feel what I'm saying? But like Ant-Man, the one thing that some people don't know, Ant-Man was growing up playing football. He wasn't even really a basketball player until he was like 15, 16. He wasn't really getting into basketball until he was like 15, 16. So he was growing up playing football. And he was really a football fan. So like if he's like starting to like basketball around 15, 16, he definitely is not watching or thinking about the 90s. He's watching people currently. That's why Kevin Durant is his favorite player of all time. That's why Kevin Durant is his GOAT. Because when he was 15, 16, that's when KD was like in his prime. Like, that's when KD was killing. And that's what, like, and KD's like 6'11", 7 foot, doing fadeaways and dribble moves that a lot of players that was shorter than him was even doing back in the day. So I see why he say they were more skilled nowadays than back in the day, because we're positionless now. Like, nowadays we're positionless. Like, it don't matter how tall we are, it doesn't matter how big we are. If we can do certain things and dribble, like, everybody can switch. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know why Magic Johnson got so sensitive. I don't know why he said what people that talk like that don't got championships, he don't want to conversate with them or get involved with them. Like, he really wasn't even talking about you. He was talking about the people that was guarding Michael Jordan or in the same position as Michael Jordan. And it's true. Like, Michael Jordan really is the only one that had skill. Like, you had Magic, you had Larry, you had all the players in the 80s, 70s. And then when Michael Jordan came, everybody was like, this is something that I never seen before. Like, even Larry's, like, y'all was saying that back in the day. This is something I never seen before. They was calling this man Black Jesus. Like, what? Like, no. Like, what? Like, and then people getting sensitive about what Ant-Man was like what he knows. And he feels like the fact that we are positionless and it doesn't matter how tall we are and big and stuff like that, and we basically got the same skill. Like, our generation has a way more skill than y'all. Like, it's a fact. Like, the game is going to develop. Like, from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, it's going to develop. And then KG got defensive, and he wasn't even talking about you. He wasn't even talking about the 2000s. He was not talking about the 2000s. And I feel like Ant-Man will be just fine in the 2000s, because if you put any player in any era, they're going to adjust. If you put Magic in the 2010s or 20s, he's going to adjust. He's 6'9", they can pass, like, he's going to adjust. Just like Larry, like, they going to adjust. Like, they saying they're going to push him around. That's not even real defense. How about y'all just get down and play real defense instead of, like, clotheslining somebody? Like, you feel what I'm saying? So, that I just don't like the fact that the old heads get so defensive about things, man. Alright, this is the last thing I want to talk about before we wrap this episode up, man. I'm going to talk about my top 5 NBA players of all time, man. And whatever y'all feel, whoever feels some type of way, man, I don't care. Because this is my top 5. This is from what I've seen when I started, like, loving the game. Not just going by what people older than me is saying, so that's what I'm just gonna go with. Like, this is what, from what I seen, from what I experienced, from what like motivated me. And I got Steph at the 1. And the reason why I got Steph at the 1, he could shoot, he could pass, he could spread the floor. He don't even have to score with the ball. He can score without the ball. He just, in my opinion, he's just a better player than Magic Johnson. Overall, he's just a better player to me. And I don't need Magic Johnson on my team because guess what? LeBron is in my top 5 too. So I got Steph. I got Kobe at the 2. The reason why I got Kobe at the 2 and not Mike, because Kobe was my Mike. Like, Kobe, like, from what these old heads was seeing at Mike, like, they so amazed about what he's doing. When Kobe came in and all that, that's what we seen. That's what we were saying about him. And to me, I feel like Kobe I don't know. I feel like Kobe just had a stronger mentality. I feel like he just knew the game more. Like, if you think about, like, I just feel like he knew the game more. And Kobe just, I don't know, he was just a different breed, man. He was just a different breed in my eyes. And then I got Bron at the 3. Bron just, man, he can do everything, basically. He can do everything. Then I got KD at the 4. KD's freaking 6'11", 7 foot, do anything on the floor, underrated on defense. Spread, you feel what I'm saying? Then I got the Diesel at 5. Shaq. Dominate the paint. Like, you cannot stop that team. How can you stop that team? Like you got to worry about Steph, KD, and Kobe outside in the perimeter. Even though Kobe can go in the paint, shoot middies and stuff like that, you got to worry about them on the perimeter. Then you got to worry about LeBron doing him, just going in the paint, yamming it, and just having good IQ and vision out there in the court, finding Steph, KD, and Kobe. Like, then you got Shaq in the paint. Whenever these other players are off, man, just pass it to Shaq. Bop, bop. Like, you feel what I'm saying? They just pass it to Shaq, man. So that's my top 5, man. I don't care what nobody says. That y'all can argue with me. I can do anything I want. That top 5 is the best in my opinion. Steph, Kobe, LeBron, KD, Shaq. That's the best top 5. So that's it, y'all, for this episode, man. I'm glad y'all staying tuned in my podcast, man. Let's keep this rolling. Let's keep this going, man. We're going to have way more, like, other sports involved. Of course, I already mentioned football. I'm going to start that, like, in September. I'm gonna still get into it. Still, like, try to... I'm not sure if I want to have a team or just watch the game, but I'm definitely going to stay in tune in the first games, I think, in September. And, yeah, we're going to talk about, if basketball stuff end up coming up, we're going to talk about basketball still, but we're going to be talking about football too, so just stay tuned. I want y'all to subscribe, like, comment. Please share to family and friends or anybody. And I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.